Erika Kirk, Charlie dead and on the hunt? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Having ascertained that an individual is a narcissist, this provides us with a framework of behaviours which enables us to interpret their conduct and actions through the prism of their narcissism, explain why they say and do the things that they do, and in many instances make accurate predictions about that behaviour. For instance, one aspect of the narcissist is the necessity of what is called the intimate partner primary source. Most narcissists have one. The intimate partner primary source, in more recognisable language, is boyfriend or girlfriend, partner, cohab, spouse. This is the person that the narcissist relies upon for the bulk of the provision of the prime aims. The extent of that reliance varies dependent upon the sub-school of narcissist that you're dealing with. So in simple terms, lesser narcissists tend to rely upon the intimate partner primary source far more than a greater narcissist would do so, with mid-rangers being, predictably enough, in the middle. Some narcissists don't always have an intimate partner primary source because they're able to rely upon other aspects of the fuel matrix. This is more often seen with upper mid-range and greater narcissists. Certain narcissists must always have an intimate partner primary source, and if they don't, they might have a non-intimate partner primary source, often a family member, a parent, or sometimes a child. The intimate partner primary source is the individual, who is the easiest to control, who also provides the most fuel, character traits, and residual benefits. A simple way to think of it is that they are the huge supermarket that the narcissist visits the most often. Rather than go to 100 independent stores, they can just go to one for the vast majority of their needs. They will control other people, draw fuel from them, etc., but the intimate partner primary source is the main one that the narcissist goes to. If you think about it, if you can get most of your needs from one person, and you only have to control one person, life becomes a lot easier. And particularly for lesser and mid-range narcissists, the way that the narcissism operates is on an economy setting. It wants the maximum return on investment so that the most fuel, character traits and residual benefits can be obtained with the minimum of effort. And that means looking to get them all from one person. This means that the intimate partner primary source is hugely important for most narcissists. And if you want to understand more about the way that the narcissist interacts with that intimate partner primary source and other appliances, I'd recommend that you read my book Pipelines and also obtain the Logic Bulletin, Understanding Changes to the Narcissist Fuel Matrix. You can get both of those from the Knowledge Vault, link in the video description. It'll help you understand how the fuel matrix is constituted and the level of reliance that the narcissist has upon differing appliances within it and what happens when there's changes. One of the most fundamental changes is that if a narcissist loses that intimate partner primary source, they look to obtain a replacement as quickly as they possibly can. Otherwise, they're forced to rely upon secondary sources, which isn't as desirable. They basically have to try and get the same level of benefits, but from more people, which requires more effort. It's often the case that what happens is the narcissist, when they recognise that the incumbent intimate partner primary source is not delivering, they start sniffing out a new one. And at some point, the incumbent is disengaged from, and the affair partner, who is an intimate partner secondary source, becomes promoted to the position of intimate partner primary source. Yet sometimes the narcissist might find themselves outmaneuvered. It could be, for instance, that the intimate partner primary source suddenly stops functioning and the narcissist didn't see that was going to happen. They might even escape, which then results in a massive hole in the narcissist fuel matrix, a hole that they then need to plug as quickly as possible. This means that the narcissist goes on the hunt for a replacement. And for a narcissist such as Erika Kirk, the loss of her husband, unexpectedly through assassination, although there are some that might suggest that it wasn't unexpected, but on the basis that it was, means that she then lost her intimate partner primary source with no notice. A massive hole was rent in her fuel matrix. This meant that fuel levels dropped, that the provision of character traits and residual benefits was no longer as seamless as it once was. And therefore, ordinarily, the narcissist would need to do something to, in effect, repair that pipeline, to either go hell for leather to find a new intimate partner primary source, or turn to other and perhaps recruit new members into the fuel matrix to make up for the loss of the intimate partner primary source. Having set that background for you, so you understand what goes on in the narcissist fuel matrix, particularly vis-a-vis the intimate partner primary source, we now turn to the suggestion that Erika Kirk was on the hunt not long after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. It was the case that she was accused of going on the hunt within days of the demise of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, as you recall, was the 31-year-old co-founder and CEO of Turning Point USA, a powerhouse organisation mobilising young conservatives, and he was assassinated mid-speech at Utah Valley University. The event, the kick-off of his American comeback tour, drew a polarised crowd, supporters waving MAGA flags, protesters chanting against his anti-LGBTQ+ and pro-Trump rhetoric. The sniper's bullet hit him at approximately 12:23 p.m. Chaos then erupted. Erika Kirk, a former Miss Arizona USA 2012 and devoted mother of two, was then thrust into the spotlight. Married to Charlie since 2019 after a whirlwind courtship, red flag there, he famously proposed after quizzing her on theology over burgers in New York. The couple embodied evangelical conservatism. She had long supported TPUSA, often sharing Bible verses and family moments on X, under @Erika Kirk. Her pre-death posts were viewed as wholesome, tributes to Charlie's podcast, prayers for their children, and calls to faith amid cultural wars. But Kirk's murder transformed her from supportive spouse to instant icon, and also a potential target herself. On September the 18th, TPUSA's board named her CEO and board chair, tasking her with steering the $50 million a year non-profit through grief and growth. Then, this happened. Just 12 days post-assassination, a screenshot circulated on Reddit's Conservative Memes subreddit purporting to be an X post from Erika Kirk's verified account. The text read, "After losing Charlie last week, I wasn't sure how to move forward, but God put a new mission in my heart, helping young Christians find one another. That's why I'm proud to introduce Faith and Fellowship, our new dating app. Yes, I'm on it too." Accordingly, it appeared that in the immediate aftermath of the death of her husband, Erika Kirk had not only decided that she would establish a dating app, but she put herself on it. Now, this behaviour is something that you could find with a narcissist for a variety of reasons. First of all, having no emotional empathy, the narcissist wouldn't care for how people would be affected by this sudden shift to the creation of a dating app and being involved in it. Secondly, as I've just explained to you, the loss of Charlie Kirk as the intimate partner primary source could cause Erika Kirk, to go looking for his replacement. And thus, as I've explained in separate videos, online dating sites and apps are hunting grounds for narcissists. Accordingly, there is the possibility that as a consequence of a sense of entitlement, an absence of emotional empathy, and necessity, that a narcissist such as Erika Kirk could well create a dating app and put herself on it. The image certainly showed her profile perfectly. Handle, photo, even the blue check mark. But it would appear that the timestamp was faked. As a consequence of this appearance, she was mocked as a grifter widow, with captions like "from vows to swipes in 7 days." The post itself exploded with over 90,000 likes on X, with shares on Facebook reaching 500,000, and TikTok splicing it with Charlie Kirk's final speech audio. By September the 25th, it had trended under #ErikaSwipeRight, blending dark humour with vitriol. Some linked it to conspiracy theories on the basis that Erika Kirk knew it was coming. Many people were raw with regard to what had happened, and her rapid pivot to leadership fueled whispers. Her fiery memorial eulogy, hugging Trump on stage, her podcast appearances on the Daily Wire by September the 26th, struck many as too composed. The video of her kissing Charlie Kirk's hand in his casket was labelled as staged grief porn. Others fixated on her attire, a black dress at the vigil, then leather pants at an October event with J.D. Vance, where she quipped, "No one replaces Charlie, but J.D. has similarities." Threads accused her of flirting or re-downloading Tinder, echoing the app rumour. The fact is that she was accused of getting on an app, creating it, and that she was there because she was looking for someone to replace Charlie Kirk. Now, as I've just mentioned, the compartmentalization, absence of emotional empathy, and necessity associated with the narcissist requiring a replacement for the intimate partner primary source gives legitimacy to such suggestions that she might engage in such activity. But it turned out to be false. The image was traced to that Reddit thread. There were no earlier uploads via reverse search. Her real ex showed 0 posts from September the 10th to the 21st. Her first was on September the 22nd, being a retweet of memorial footage. It's also the case that no such app exists. Faith and Fellowship yield 0 App Store results, and TPUSA's site lists no dating ventures. Pre-death checks found no app promotion, and that the supposed sites of her on apps were deepfakes or catfished profiles. The fact is that it was a lie, and something she addressed obliquely in an October podcast where Kirk stated, "Lies spread faster than bullets, but truth endures like Charlie's mission." She did not download, launch, or join any dating app after Charlie's death. The suggestion was complete fabrication, a meme mutated into malice. No evidence from app data leaks to insider leaks substantiate it. Her verified accounts show her supposed grief, not games. Bible retweets, child-focused posts, and vows to honour Charlie Kirk instead. However, given what I've said about the importance of the intimate partner primary source and the fact that a narcissist could do this, whilst it's clear that she did not, why didn't she if she is a narcissist? Well, 2 substantial reasons. The first, facade management. Her narcissism would recognise that it would be inappropriate for her to move from grieving widow to announcing being on an app. Some narcissists would do it because they're far more uncouth and wouldn't operate with a facade, but she does, and therefore it makes it far less likely that she would do this. Also, The difficulties that might arise as a consequence for another narcissist by the loss of the intimate partner primary source, namely a rapid reduction in the receipt of fuel, the loss of character traits, and residual benefits, for instance, a loss of income, were not only offset, but are actually outweighed by virtue of the fact that she was elevated to CEO of TPUSA and all the consequent publicity that she embraced. Rather than going and getting a new man, a new intimate partner primary source, her narcissism instead drove her to embrace publicity, turning up at memorial service, going on interviews, television, etc. And thus, any fuel that Charlie Kirk would have provided became outweighed by the deluge of fuel she was receiving by her new-found exposure. Furthermore, it gave her additional access to money, which exceeded that which she'd accessed previously through Charlie Kirk. Therefore, whilst in the long term there may be a requirement to replace him with a new intimate partner primary source, in the short to medium term there was no actual pressing need because of the circumstances of her ascension to CEO of TPUSA and all of the consequential publicity that she has heartily embraced, meant that the hole created by the assassination of Charlie Kirk was not only filled, but it was exceeded. Fuel, character traits, residual benefits, they were all replaced and then some as a consequence of circumstance and the consequent publicity surrounding what had happened to Charlie Kirk and her elevation to CEO of TPUSA. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.